Goldman Sachs is out here saying AI will trigger this massive, like a 15% labor productivity boom.
Right, but then you talk to actual industry insiders and they are bracing for, 10 to 20% structural unemployment.
Exactly. And welcome to today's deep dive, where we're looking at this huge macroeconomic report from May 2026 to figure out exactly who is right.
Yeah, and more importantly, we really want to see where the actual money is moving while everyone else is totally distracted by the latest chatbot update.
Right, because it's a massive contradiction. I mean, we know 300 million jobs globally are exposed to automation today.
Which sounds terrifying. But what this report does so well is it cuts through the noise of that panic to map out actionable career opportunities.
Because the wealth isn't just evaporating.
Exactly. No, it's just migrating to entirely new layers of the economy.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because this first layer is surprisingly physical. I mean, you panic about algorithms, but you literally cannot execute software without hardware.
Yeah, you have to look at the thermodynamic reality of AI. The report highlights something called the halo effect.
The halo effect.
Right, stands for heavy assets, low obsolescence. Think about it, an algorithmic model, it deprecates and becomes obsolete in months.
Oh, for sure.
But the physical infrastructure to run it, the massive electrical grids, the specialized cooling architectures, all of that retains long-term value.
Oh, so it's literally the 1849 gold rush all over again.
How do you mean?
Like, instead of out there panning for algorithmic gold, the real money is in selling the optical networking and cooling shovels.
That is a perfect analogy. AI requires exponential power, and because of that heat and energy demand, we're looking at a structural deficit of 500,000 new U.S. power sector jobs by 2030.
Like a deficit in tech jobs.
No, not coders. We are talking about HVAC specialists and high voltage line workers. That is the physical bottleneck.
Right, so we're pumping exponential wattage into these cooling centers just to keep the servers from catching fire.
Exactly.
But what exactly is running on those servers that runs so incredibly hot? Because that brings us to the software layer.
Right, and we're finally past that era of enterprise pilotitis, where companies just bolted disconnected AI assistants onto manual tasks to see what happened.
Right, like totally disconnected tools.
Yeah, but now enterprises are deploying fully autonomous agent swarms. Take a platform like 7AI in cybersecurity, for example.
Okay, wait, a swarm. To be clear, that's not just one giant artificial brain doing everything, right?
No, it acts more like a hive of specialized bees.
Ah, so like one AI agent flags the malware, another instantly isolates the compromised server, and the third writes the software patch.
Exactly. They communicate and execute completely autonomously, but that creates a totally new problem.
Which is?
Once you have swarms running critical infrastructure, they desperately need human managers. So we're seeing a surge in roles like the AI agent orchestration specialist.
Okay, that makes sense. They integrate and referee the swarms.
Right, but even more critical is the AI compliance auditor. That role is currently pulling in upwards of $188,000.
Wait, hold on. Paying an AI compliance auditor almost $200K, that sounds like massive corporate bloat.
It does, I know.
I mean, aren't these autonomous swarms supposed to eliminate overhead? Why are we essentially just inventing HR departments and internal affairs for software?
You'd think it's bloat, but the legal reality makes it the exact opposite. If an autonomous swarm hallucinates or makes a biased decision...
Oh, right, the lawsuits.
Exactly. If it violates the strict new EU AI Act or California state laws, the fines are existential to the company. That salary is just cheap insurance.
But how does an auditor actually prove a black box AI isn't biased?
Well, they use specific diagnostic frameworks, like SHAP. Without getting too deep into the math, it essentially reverse engineers the AI's decision-making process.
Oh, wow. So it maps out exactly which data points led to a specific outcome.
Yeah, proving to regulators whether a decision was fair or flawed. Governance is really the only way to deploy these systems safely.
Okay, so algorithms are handling these massive cognitive workloads, and we're paying humans to audit them.
Right.
But if machines are doing all that heavy mental lifting, what happens to the rest of the workforce?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the remaining wealth flows downstream to fund the one thing machines completely lack, which is what? Genuine empathy. We call it the human premium. Over 1 million workers are already thriving in niches like premium pet care, physical therapy, and boutique tutoring.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because it's not just about being nice or having empathy. It's about the economic value of accountability.
Exactly.
An AI can give you a hyper-accurate medical diagnosis or a perfect workout plan in 2 seconds flat.
Right. But you pay a premium for a human physical therapist to stand next to you, read your body language, and hold you accountable to your recovery.
Yes, you are buying unmediated, authentic human attention.
Which is huge. Because in a frictionless digital world, human friction is the ultimate 2026 luxury. AI simply cannot replicate that resonance.
Wow.
And this brings up a fascinating dynamic called the Jevons paradox. Historically, when technological efficiency makes a resource cheaper, we don't use less of it. We use exponentially more.
Right, so as the cost of machine intelligence plummets towards zero, the demand for the power and infrastructure to run it explodes.
Precisely, making AI virtually ubiquitous and practically free.
So your survival paths are surprisingly clear. You build a physical AI grid, govern the digital swarms, or double down on pure, irreplaceable human empathy.
Exactly. Those are your core paths.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to ponder. If the Jevons paradox makes machine intelligence virtually free and everywhere, will AI generated eventually just become a warning label for cheapness?
That is a really provocative thought.
Right, like 10 years from now, will 100% human-made become the ultimate economic and societal status symbol? We will leave you with it.